Pilates, please. Hello, I am Dr. Burnett and I want to welcome you to Pilates, please. Are you experiencing low back pain? Well, you are not the only one. Low back pain affects most people at some point in their lives. In majority of the cases, this pain can be significantly reduced or completely relieved with Pilates. The combination of deep abdominal strengthening, postural awareness, release, and stretching exercises makes Pilates extremely effective in the prevention and treatment of low back pain. However, it is also important to apply the techniques taught in Pilates into your everyday life. So today, all you'll need is your mat, a bottle of water, and a towel. So let's begin. We'll start on the mat. So come all the way down to your back. Roll all the way down to the mat. Now, we'll start with pelvic tilts. With pelvic tilts, this is super important to just awaken up our body awareness, right? Our posture awareness. We just talked on that. So for here, my back is neutral spine. Now, from here, we're going to place our fingers on top of our pelvis. You've got these two, what we call bony projections, the front part of our hips, right? So we're going to place them here so that way we can feel the movement of our pelvis. So press your back into the mat, your lower back into the mat, and you'll feel your fingertips lower towards the mat. And then reverse and extend your spine. So growing in your curve underneath the mat. And pressing down and lifting forward and pressing down and tilting forward and pressing down. So we'll do two more. Now I want to stay in this anterior pelvic tilt. That means we're pressing forward. A lot of us stand in this anterior tilt, and that's one of the reasons why we have low back pain. Another reason why we have low back pain outside of any type of injuries that we may have had is that we have tight hamstrings, which we'll address that later on in our workout. But for now, when you have this anterior pelvic tilt, you're stretching your abdominals forward, and they're just released. So you want to work on tightening our abdominals and making them stronger as we press our back into the mat, into the pelvic tilt, okay? So as we move forward into the workout, we'll place our hands behind our head for chest lift. Now, again, we just talked about strengthening our abdominals, so we're going to work on what that looks like right now. So place your hands behind your head, tuck your tailbone under, press your back into the mat, funnel your ribs into your center line, and lift your chest off the mat and lower down and lift and lower. Now, as I lower, I stay connected. I don't release everything. I stay connected. I lift up and I lower down and lift and lower. And I'm going to add a knee tuck in there. So as I lift my chest, I bring my knee into the chest and lower down. And I switch and lift and lower and lift and lower, lift, lower, and lift, lower. Let's do two more on each leg. And this will be our last one. And lower. Nice. Now I'm staying connected. So again, I don't release everything for a coffee break, which is what I tell my clients all the time. We're not on a coffee break. We keep everything engaged here. Now, my belly button is pulled into my spine, funnel my ribs, bring my knees into a tabletop position. I release my hands from the back of my head, and I just lie them kind of in a T position out to the side. Now, pressing my back into the mat, we're going to go into our spinal twist. Now, be mindful that we're going to start with a shorter range of motion first, and then as you warm up your lower back and the muscles that surround it, you can begin to twist even deeper. So when I twist, everything stays connected. Join my inner thighs together, my knees stay together, and I have a slight rocking motion going side to side. Now, it's okay for your hips to come off of the mat slightly. It should. But we want to make sure that our back stays rounded and pressed downward so that we don't have pressure in our lower back. So we'll just swing side to I feel a nice stretch down the back of my side, and then also into the muscles that support my spine. Now from there, I'm going to take a deep exhale to lift my knees into my chest. Then we'll rotate to the opposite side, lower all the way down, and hold that stretch there. So keeping my back lengthened out, my tummy's still tucked away into my spine, funneling my wrists, so stay connected the whole time, right? And exhale, bring the knees into the chest. And again, one more time, down to the side. Take your time. You can press your palms into the mat if you need to. Extend out. Now to add this stretch, I can look away or turn my head away from my knees. So I can add a stretch here if I'm looking back towards my couch. My knees are towards you. But when I bring my knees back up, my head comes neutral with my spine first. Exhale, bring my knees into the chest. Realign my spine first, and then lower to the other side. And again, I'm looking away from my knees, but you're not facing the couch. Towards you. Stay in that stretch as long as you need to, but we'll keep moving. So again, realign my head with my spine. Exhale, bring my knees into my chest. Lower my feet down. Now let's get into some hamstring stretches, right? So we talked about one of the reasons why we have low back pain is the posture that we carry with our pelvis, and also the tightness in our hamstrings. So let's stretch those out. So my feet are flat, pressing my back into the mat. I'm gonna extend my leg up here. Now, if your knee has to be bent, that's fine, but let's try to keep our legs straight as possible, okay? So for me, it's about a little less than 90 degrees because I have tight hamstrings as well as the previous answer. So I'm going to bring my knee towards my face, okay? So using my lower abdominals, it's really a small movement. Now, if you need assistance from there, you can grab a towel, or if you have a resistance band, you can place it over your foot and bring the leg forward. But other than that, we'll hold here for 10 to 15 seconds, pressing towards my head, and then we release forward down. All the way down to the mat, and then we lift all the way back up. Hold there, straighten out the leg. Straighten out your leg, and then lift it up towards your face one more time. So I'm feeling this pressure back here. Okay, now if you don't have anything and you still need that assistance, you can place your hands behind your thigh, never on the knee joint, because we have certain structures that are very delicate to our joint system. We don't want to stress that out, okay? But my leg, remember, stays straight. I'm feeling this stretch all the way down the back of my leg. I hold here. I'm going to flex my foot, so bringing my toes towards my face, then point my toes away from my face and flex, working through my arch here, and point, and flex, and point. And one of the reasons why I really enjoy working through my foot and ankle complex is because when I pull my heel away from my leg, I feel a nice long stretch in my hamstring. So even though we're working our Achilles tendon that goes into the calf, everything is connected through the fascia system, okay? So from there, I bring my leg a little bit more forward, keeping my back pressed against the mat, right? Belly button to my spine. And release the leg and lower all the way down. Lengthening out as we lower the leg. Bring the knee, bend the knee, and then place the foot flat. And then we go for the other side. Extend the leg up. Again, if you need to bend your knee, that's totally fine. We'll start with a straight leg. From here, we'll lift the leg up, nice and controlled. So I'm lifting my leg towards my face from my powerhouse, not from my quads. Okay, so lifting all the way up. Hold there. Straighten out my leg for you. Hold, breathe through this stretch. Pressing my back down so I'm not having this anterior pelvic tilt, right? I'm pressing my back down. one to lower all the way down. And take your time with this particular workout for today. We have the low back pain for a reason, so sometimes we need to take a breather before we start to actually work our back, okay? So for the next one, remember we brought our leg all the way back and we worked through flexion, okay, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. So bring your feet, toes towards your face and press away and pull towards and press away and towards the face and pressing away. And all through this movement, I'm pressing my back actively into the mat. Point and flex. Good. Now from here, lower all the way down and bring my knees into my chest. Now this is one of my favorite stretches. And you simply just bring your knees into your chest. Relax your hip flexors. I take a deep inhale and exhale, press my knees deeper into the chest. Elbows are wide. My neck is neutral with my spine. Take a deep inhale and exhale, and then I begin just to rock side to side. And then very, very gentle on your spine. Then I take a normal breath. Find yourself in the center of your mat. And again, inhale. And exhale, bring the knees closer to your torso. And inhale. And exhale. And simply rock side to side. Breathing normally. And just take your time. Okay, find yourself back into the center. Grab underneath your knees. Tuck your chin into your chest first. And then press your heels forward to a seated position. Okay? Tuck in first. Press forward to a seated position. Now, from here we'll do the roll back. Okay? So we're not going to roll all the way back, right? Because we have low back pain. So we're trying to figure out what that looks like and feels like to correct the low back pain. So from here, I'm going to grasp underneath my thighs, round into my C curve. So I'm making a nice C with my spine. So I'm tucking under. Belly button is to my spine. Chin is to my chest. Press the shoulder blades down my back. Now, from here, I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit. From here, I roll just halfway down. Press the belly button into the spine. Rather than pressing out the belly button, you press in, lower down, and rolling up, and lower down, and rolling up, and rolling down one more time, rolling up, and then roll all the way down. Walk your hands all the way down, stretching out your legs, stretching out your arms, and hold there. Now, I press my fingertips away from my toes, so I'm feeling this natural opposition from there. Now, you can grasp your wrist and press away from your torso, and then switch your grasp, and then press away from the torso here. Now, arms come in front of you, and we'll go on to our stomach. So find yourself on your stomach. Now, from here, you'll go into swan prep. So from swan prep, you'll place your hands right underneath your shoulders here, okay? So squeeze your glutes together, wrap your legs, point your toes in Pilates stance, okay? So heels are kind of together. If that's too much for you, then you can just separate your legs and lie them flat. Your neck is neutral with your spine, nice and long away from your center. You're going to press the top of the head away from your center line to elongate your neck. Now, glide your shoulder blades down your back, glue your elbows in. You're going to lift your head as your chest lifts up. look towards me, circle your neck down around, look towards the couch, back to center, and press all the way down. Stay connected and lift the chest up. Now look the opposite way. Circle your neck down around towards me, and then back to center and lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Looking up, pressing down. Look towards me, circle down around, look towards the couch, center and lower down. And last time, lowering up, look towards the couch, circle down around, looking towards me, back center, shoulder blades down, and then lower back. Now, you extend your arms in front of you. Legs are already extended. We'll go for a swimming prep, okay? So the goal is to lengthen out in opposition while working through your back muscles, okay? So again, your neck is neutral with your spine. Arms are stretched out, shoulder distance apart. I'm going to lift my right hand, left leg in opposition. So, lifting up, reaching long. I'm pressing into the mat or into my carpet with the opposite hand and switch. Press the shoulder blades away from your ears. Switch. And switch nice and controlled. My hips stay flat on the mat and squared. Switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. Good. Bring everything down. Place the hands back underneath the shoulders. Sit back to your heels for rest position. Now stay lifted as if we have a ball in between our thighs and our chest. Okay? Now come to a tabletop position. So I'm going to scoot a little bit forward for you so that way you can see the complete stance. Now, we're in this tabletop position. We're making sure that our shoulders are in line with our shoulders are in line with our elbow. That's in line with our wrists. And for our lower body, our hips are aligned with our knees that are in line with our ankle. Okay? Now, from there, we're going to stretch everything out similar to our swimming prep, right? So my right arm matches my left leg. But before we do that, we're going to teach it in parts, okay? So have a nice flat back. So I should be able to have dinner on your back, okay? So that means that my spine is lengthened out, my shoulder blades press down against my back, scoot my abdominals up into my spine, funnel my ribs in, and I reach long with my right arm. I hold for about 2-3 seconds and lower down. And extend my left arm out and lower down. Now notice nothing else in my body is moving other than my arms and my shoulders. We're learning how to gain control with our core stability as well as our pelvic stability. And that's going to help us with our low back pain. I'll do one more on the left side and then lower down. Now for the lower body. Again, nothing else moves except the lower leg and the thigh. Lifting up and we bring it back in. And pressing out and coming back in. So be mindful not to hyperextend here and let everything come out. Keep everything connected and reach long through your toe and lower down. And lift. I almost got ahead of myself. I was adding on to our second part. And lift. And down last time, switch. Now we get to add. Now from here, I'm going to keep my left leg lifted and reach my right arm out and hold in opposition. If you're feeling a little wobbly, that's fine. If you've got to put your hand back down, that's okay. And then try to regroup and bring your arm back up. Now keep everything connected. We don't want to sink into our shoulders. Stay lifted out of our shoulder blades and reach long and switch. Reach in opposition and come back to center and reach. Back to center and reach and center. And I'm keeping my neck neutral, which is one of the reasons why I'm not able to watch you do it, because I want to make sure that I'm showing you a good example of this particular exercise. And we'll do one more each side, reaching long. And hold, switch, and reach. And switch. Now here, sit back to your hips, stretch your arms out, and tuck your chin into your chest. Now this time you're not lifted up. We're literally just sitting back and roll all the way up. Now from here, sit forward towards me. You can cross your legs. Now we're gonna sit up nice and tall on our sits bones here. Grow long in your spine. Scoop your abs off of your hips and funnel your ribs in towards your center line here, okay? Now, we're gonna stretch the sides of our backs. So we're gonna reach nice and long, up and over towards our side, and then come back up. Now notice when I'm reaching over here, I'm not lifting my hip up. I'm keeping it nice and flat, okay? So let's try that on the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, lift up and over the rainbow that we make. Lift up and over the rainbow that we make. Hips stay flat on the mat, coming back down. One more time each side, and then we'll go a little bit deeper into this exercise, okay? Reaching up and over. Now mind you, powerhouse stays engaged the entire time that we're working. And up and over. Now let's switch our leg position. Arm position is going to stay the same, but I like to teach that in parts. So we're going to go into our mermaid stretch, okay? So you're going to kind of sit in this funky Z-sit. Usually the Z-sit is kind of this way. So if you got tightness in your lower back, you might have to sit this way, and that's fine. But for me, I like to kind of wrap my legs together here. Now you're going to hold on to your ankle, grip under the ankle just so we stay stable in our body position and our hip stability. Now from there, sitting up nice and tall on my hips, scoop my arm up and over, bring my elbow into my torso, lift up and over to the side. Now mind you, I'm keeping everything scooped in, reaching up and over, then reverse, reaching up. Now you can either slide the back of your palm down, or you can just lower down, depending on the integrity of your abdominal walls. That will dictate kind of where your body position will be. So you can slide all the way down or reaching over to the opposite side. Now notice I'm not hanging out right here in my shoulders. My shoulder stays lifted up. My abdominals stay activated in my powerhouse, and I'm reaching long through my fingertips as I press my shoulders away from my ears. Now, in opposition, I'm reaching up and over. Again, staying lifted. Coming back over and reaching long. Now, from here, I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to reach towards my knees, lift up onto my knees, and switch sides, okay? Now, that was with control, right? So maybe the first time we do it, sometimes we may plop on there. That's where we can learn to find some room for improvement in our control. So we're on the opposite side. I'm hooking my hand underneath my ankle, reaching nice and long on my sits bones in opposition, pressing my shoulder blades down away from my ears, and I reach over to the side and scoop up and over, sliding down, staying lifted in my torso, sliding over, reaching long, coming back up and over and up. I think we did this 3 times. If not, we'll do it 3 times anyway. Reaching up and over. And this will be our 3rd time. So we'll switch sides on our next stretch. Reaching up and over here. Good. Pressing the shoulder down away from your ears. Stay lifted. Now my arms come up, reaching towards the knees. Lift up and over, and I'm going to come to a seated position. Bring my feet forward here. Now we're just looking at spinal stretch forward, right? So we kind of opened up a little bit with our hamstring stretch in the beginning of the stretch/workout. But now we're extending our legs, sitting up nice and tall on our sits bones. And from here, flex my feet. Sit nice and tall, stack my spine, tuck my chin into my chest. This is a breathing exercise, so you're going to inhale, exhale, reach forward, and coming back up. Again, tuck your chin into your chest, round forward, and coming back up. Again, if your hamstrings are super tight, you can bend your knees here, so I'll do that with you all. Now, tuck your chin into your chest, inhale, and exhale, reaching up. Actually, that feels really nice on my hamstrings. And tuck your chin, inhale, exhale, coming up. Pressing your shoulder blades down, stacking your spine one more time. Inhale, tuck your chin, reaching forward, and exhale, rolling back up. Now, bring your feet together. Shift your weight forward. You're going to come to a standing position, but you're going to bend your knees. You're going to roll up through your back. Press your shoulder blades down and face me. Now, we're going to end with this standing stretch. Your arms are going to reach all the way up, holding onto your wrist, rounding over to the side. Press your hip and your arms in opposition. Come back up towards the center, and then stretch towards the other side. Find yourself back in the center. Press your palms forward. Grow tall in your stance as we end our stretch/workout. So I know you feel better because I feel amazing. Your back should be relieved or feel a little bit relieved of stiffness and pain. Continue to do these exercises to get better results for your body. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Pilates Please with Dr. Burnett.